called BTSR. BTSR is a pretension device to bring the yarn from the floor through the positive feed device and to the input roll. For draw ratio tests, most of the time the BTSR is avoided because it adds pretension to the yarn. So normally this unit is always in the off position, as you see here. The green lights are on, and there is a message here that says U feeder off. So this device is currently inactive. If you would like to use the pretension device, this device, then you need to turn it on first. To do that, there are three buttons here: plus, enter, and minus. They're not very easy to see, but this is the order they are placed in here: plus, enter, and minus. So to turn the instrument on, you need to press plus for 3 seconds until you see U feeder on, yes or no question. Since we want to turn it on, it is yes. To do that, we press E to enter. Now you see the unit is flashing because it doesn't have any tension on the tension head, so it's sensing that, and it's asking us to do something. In order to get rid of this flashing lights, we need to first of all have the yarn and our pretension programmed in the system. To program, there are a couple of steps that you have to do. First of all, determine your yarn denier. For example, if it is 70 denier, the rule of thumb is 0.7 grams pretension. But obviously you can have less than that. The unit can go down as low as 0.2 grams of tension. You need to program this main tension, which is the pretension that this unit is going to apply, positively apply. You need to enter that in the system under P1 program. To go to P1 menu, you need to press E button, which is the one in the middle, for 3 seconds until you see advanced. Once you see advanced, continue to press E, and then you will see P1 menu. Once you see that, press enter. This is the first step under P1 menu. It says P1.1, program menu 1, step 1. This is the main tension. This is what you are required to enter if you would like to use the pretension for this yarn. So our yarn is 70 denier, and I am going to enter 0.7. Currently it says 0.2. For me to increase that tension, I'm going to use plus button and slowly increment to 0.7. Then I press enter. This is the second step under P1 menu. It is error tension. Make sure you enter error tension the same as your main tension. So right now it says 0.2. We will increase that also up to 0.7 and enter. You do not change anything else. The third step is time alarm. Continue. This is step 4 for increment tension, 0.1 in increments of 0.1 gram tension. Continue until you see P1 back again. Once you see that, press minus button to get out of this menu. The unit continues to flash, but that's okay. So before we start threading, press plus. This will stop the flashing, and it will prevent the instrument to turn accidentally and to hurt your fingers. So make sure you press plus when you're done entering the pretension, main tension, and error tension values. So now bring your yarn to the system. Just lift it up and make sure it's actually unraveling without any problems. For threading the BTSR, you do not have to pay attention to the direction of the unraveling or unwinding. It's okay. To thread the BTSR unit with the yarn, place your yarn package on the floor, bring the yarn end through the guides, and bring the yarn under the bar, over the pulley, and bring the yarn, this time over the bar. Now you have 2 wraps on the BTSR pulley. Now continue to pull the yarn. As you pull, you can turn the pulley. Once you completed your second wrap, continue to thread the yarn until it exits the pink guide. Make sure your yarn is in contact with the ceramic pin here. The ceramic pin is actually the tension sensor. This will be the one, in our case, trying to maintain 0.7 gram of pretension that we entered. Now that your instrument, the BTSR, is threaded with the elastomeric yarn, you have to make sure that you have a little bit of a slack in the yarn, not so much tension. You need to see a little bit of a slack here. The reason for that is, if we have a lot of tension, that pink guide will sense that tension and try to turn to feed as much as yarn possible, as quickly as possible, to go to that main tension value that we entered. To prevent that from happening very fast, after you finish threading, make sure you turn your pulley a little bit this way, clockwise, yarn slack here. Now you're actually ready to turn the unit back on. Press the plus sign. So now your unit is actually active. As I pull it, it will be feeding the yarn under that tension value that we entered. As the yarn being pulled by the input roll, you see the unit is turning green, which is actively tension control position. If the yarn is slack, then the unit is going to start flashing red and green. This is normal, completely normal. It is just saying that it is not in the control position. But as soon as the yarn is picked up again, it will turn green and it will be actively feeding the yarn to the input roll. So when there is no tension, the unit will say 0 tension and it will flash red and green as normal. When I pull, or when the input roll pulls the yarn, then it will be actively controlling again and the lights will be solid green. Now that we finished with the BTSR threading, we can start the program, draw ratio program, to continue with the CTT threading. You need to have the draw ratio program on to be able to thread the CTT input roll and the output rolls. So start your file. And now you're ready to thread the CTT. Using the jaw pedal again. Before you start threading, make sure you have your jaw pedal near your foot. When you press the jaw, the input roll and the output roll will turn until I release the pedal. Press on, it will turn. Release, it will stop. Start threading the input roll. As before, have about 10 wraps here, and bring the yarn back onto the draw ratio pulley. Continue to your tension head and thread the tension head pulleys. bring the yarn down to the upper roll. And need to have 15 wraps on this upper roll. Once finished, bring the yarn to the aspirator. Now go back to the upper roll and add your additional wraps. Now you have to be really quick here because you have only 5-second window to start the test. If you do not start within 5 seconds, the BTSR is going to start flashing. Okay, so make sure you press F2 as soon as you finish threading